Have you ever thought about what real courage and selflessness look like? Well, today, we're going to explore a story that shows us just that. Let's dive into the tale of the golden mallard sacrifice.
And you know, this is way more than just a simple fairy tale. It's a story that really gets into a powerful idea: selflessness. It makes you stop and think about what it actually means to put others first. And we're about to see a pretty amazing example.
So, our story begins with a truly remarkable character. Let's go ahead and meet this bird with a golden heart. Okay, so picture this: a quiet, peaceful forest next to a sparkling pond. Living there was a mallard whose feathers literally shone like pure gold. But honestly, its stunning looks weren't even its most valuable trait. The real treasure was its heart, which was just overflowing with kindness for every single creature there. But then, one afternoon, all that peace was just shattered. The mallard overheard some hunters talking, making a plan. And their plan was awful and simple: come back at sunrise and capture every last duck on that pond. All of a sudden, everyone was in terrible, terrible danger.
And this is really where the story takes a turn. Facing total disaster, the mallard makes a choice that's going to change absolutely everything. This is its great sacrifice. Instead of just flying off to save itself, which is probably what most would do, the golden mallard showed its true colors. It calmly got all the other ducks together, explained the danger, and then it proposed a plan. A plan that was going to require an unbelievable amount of courage.
And this really gets us to the heart of the whole story: sacrifice. It's that choice to give up something incredibly precious for someone else. For the mallard, this wasn't about giving up a thing. It was about offering up the one thing that mattered most: its very own freedom.
So, what was this incredible plan? Well, it was a four-step act of pure bravery. First, tell everyone the bad news. Then, the really astonishing part, it offered to give itself up. The hope was that its golden feathers would be such a distraction, the hunters would forget about everyone else. I mean, can you imagine that conversation? The other ducks, probably heartbroken, agreed it was the only way. So the final step was set. At dawn, the mallard would swim directly into danger. So, as the sun came up, the plan went into action. And the hunters just could not believe their eyes. This magnificent golden bird was swimming right toward their boat. They were so captivated, they completely forgot their original plan. They just captured the mallard, knowing this was no ordinary bird. This was a prize for the king. But the mallard's story doesn't end there, not by a long shot. Its biggest challenge and its most important message was still to come. And that brings us to a lesson for a king. The king was, of course, totally mesmerized by the bird's beauty. He had it placed in a luxurious golden cage in the royal gardens, and every day he'd visit just to admire his prize. But the mallard wasn't defeated. It was just watching, waiting, biding its time for the perfect moment to speak its truth. And finally, that moment came. The mallard looked the king in the eye and spoke, its voice steady and strong. "O king, I sacrificed myself to save the lives of my fellow ducks. I did this out of compassion." In that single sentence, everything became clear to the king. The king's heart was just completely changed. He was no longer seeing a beautiful bird. He was seeing a creature of incredible nobility and courage. He realized that a spirit like that could never, ever be caged. And so, he opened the cage himself. The mallard flew home, and you can just imagine the joyous reunion with its friends.
It's a really beautiful ending, isn't it?
But what does this incredible story actually teach us? Let's unpack the moral of the story.
The message here is actually pretty profound. It's telling us that true nobility isn't about wearing a crown or living in a castle. It's a quality of your character. Sure, the mallard's golden feathers made it beautiful, but it was its selfless heart that made it truly noble.
You know, a story like this isn't just meant to be heard. It's meant to be lived. So the real question is, how can we take this powerful idea and put it to work in our own lives?
We might not be facing down hunters, but our world gives us plenty of chances to be a little bit like that mallard. Volunteering? That's sacrificing our time. Practicing gratitude? That's sacrificing our ego to appreciate others. And offering forgiveness? That's sacrificing our anger for the sake of peace. Each one is a small act of selflessness that builds our character.
So let's end with this question. The golden mallard's one act of courage saved its entire community. It just makes you wonder, what could all of our small collective acts of compassion build? How could our own sacrifices, big and small, actually transform the world around us? Thanks for exploring this one with me today.